You know, the concept of positivity is actually quite confusing for me, especially as someone who is living with a chronic illness. It's kind of strange because on the one hand, I agree that we should try to be positive about the good things that are happening in our lives and practice gratitude and really think about the things that we are grateful for. I like that concept because sometimes, especially with the world we're living in, there's so much focus on the negative things. At the same time though, I don't think that should be taking the place of being honest and being honest about how you feel and being honest about the range of emotions that you can feel, because that's part of being human. Now, if you're on Instagram, or if you're watching this on Instagram, that means you're on Instagram, you would have seen a bunch of positive posts, and usually they frequent under the hashtags of self-care, self-love, motivation, and wellness. Now, I use these hashtags as well, but clicking on them, you'll see a lot of content that pushes this positivity regardless of the situation. So after coming across these posts, I also came across a term that encompasses this kind of concept, which is what is called toxic positivity. And I put it in air quotes to be honest, because I'm not gonna lie, that word toxic is played out. I think it's used for everything in 2019 and I'm over it. But it is a term that encompasses this concept that I'm talking about, so I will use it. Toxic positivity is the concept of encouraging happy feelings and positive feelings despite what the person is feeling. So if you're in a bad way, if you're depressed, if you're going through a flare-up, the kind of concept of toxic positivity is to be like, well, be happy anyway. No bad vibes here. That's fine and everything, but we're gonna feel negative sometimes. So it's unattainable. And this idea now of this toxic positivity means that we're aspiring to be positive all the time. And that means that when you feel negative, when you feel sad, when you feel angry, then comes guilt because you feel like you're now underachieving because of these goals being set to always be positive in life. And that's just now furthering negative emotions that we don't need, especially if you're going for a flare-up. There is nothing wrong with gratitude. I think it's super important to be grateful for what we have, but that shouldn't go over the fact that sometimes we don't feel like that. And that's okay, and we should explore those feelings rather than running away from them. But you know, this is not just an online thing, it's an offline phenomenon as well. You've probably heard it from your friends or family when you're struggling with something and they tell you to just be positive or think positively, think about the good things, or it could be worse. A lot of the time, these sayings come from really well-meaning people that you know in your life and that love you. At the same time, though, I still think it encourages this concept of having to cover up those negative emotions with positive ones, even if that's truly how you feel. Part of me thinks it's because the people that love us and the people that are close to us don't like seeing negativity. It makes them feel uncomfortable, especially when people are close to you. I think seeing you in a bad way, whether you're going through a flare-up, whether you're going through a down period of your mental health, it makes them uncomfortable because they love you and they want you to do well and they want you to be happy. And sometimes, even though it's well-meaning, they might then push for that positivity despite how you feel. If you're going to do anything, greet your emotions with self-compassion, but also know that it's a part of being human. We're human, we feel loads of different things. And I think it's unhealthy to hide when we feel those things. Look, chronic illness, mental health conditions, and other disabilities is hard. It's hard to live with, I say this all the time. You're not a failure for feeling a negative emotion. If you're watching this on YouTube and you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you can be made aware of whenever I upload a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.